All right, here we are at our 2011 Regal 2300 Bowrider for sale. We're here today on the beautiful freshwaters, Norris Lake, Tennessee. I should mention that this slip is not transferable. The seller does intend to keep this slip where the boat's currently located. And there is no trailer included with this one. Now, we do have a lot of delivery options locally and nationally. We can also work with you to get you a new trailer at our cost. So don't let the lack of a trailer dampen your interest in this one. If you just need it taken from point A to point B and it's going to be in a slip somewhere, then we can absolutely have it transported to you. But if you do intend to be a regular trailer boater, then again, feel free to reach out. We can discuss options on a new trailer. So we are here for our video walkthrough tour. As usual, you'll find the full list, specifications, features, and options, current asking price, and all that good stuff all through at our website at yournewboat.com. Now, for your convenience, there will be a direct link to this one down in that video description. That direct link is going to take you right to our listing page for this one, where you're going to see all of that information, current asking price, as well as all of our contact information. You'll be able to reach out to us by phone, by text, or by email, whatever's most convenient for you. Do keep in mind, we do not monitor YouTube comment page. So if you do have any questions about this one, please do consider using that direct link down in that video description. That's just there for your convenience to get you over to the listing page for this one. And again, you're going to have several options of reaching out to us once you do make over to the website. This is a very clean freshwater used boat. This has had approximately 3 owners. Current owner has kept it here stored on a lift under, obviously under this covered slip entire time that they have owned the boat. This 2300 model comes in at about 22 feet, 11 inches on the LOA. LOA is going to be the length overall. That's going to go from the back of this swim platform all the way up to the bow up there. It's got an 8.5 foot beam. Just under about 4,000 pounds dry weight. And our bridge clearance, that's going to be the clearance from the water line to the very top of that tower. That's going to come in about 7 feet 7 inches. And additionally, that is a folding tower. So when you have that tower folded down, that's going to give you a clearance of around 4 feet 8 inches. Again, that's off the water line. We've got about a 20-inch draft. We do have that Volvo dual prop Outdrive. We'll get to that here a little bit later on. While we're here in the cockpit, we're going to go ahead and kind of do the full walkthrough, point out all the features along the way. We've got a really nice swim platform back here. We've got almost like an integrated vinyl flooring kind of on this integrated swim platform. We do have a little pop-up ski tow hook right here. This can be great for pulling your inflatables, anybody on a tube. And then that tower is going to be for pulling your skiers and wakeboarders. So also, you probably already caught your eye, we've got a pair of speakers and a pair of cup holders back here on the sun deck as well. 2 pop-up cleats, or pull-up cleats. It's just going to pull up like that for tying up. And then we've got filler cushions. It's going to lay right in this little walkthrough right here. So try to remember to pop those in here a little bit later on. I do really appreciate, and I think you'll hear me talk in other videos, anytime you can get from the swim platform into the cockpit of a runabout, or really any boat for that matter, without having to step on any upholstery, that's going to do wonders for the upholstery in your boat. So I love that we've got a little walkthrough built in right here, and you can see that walkthrough also connects on the other side of this seat back here for this rear bench seat. So that folding tower does have an integrated, it's actually a dual Bimini that's integrated onto that tower. We've also got a pair of Wet Sounds tower speakers. There's actually covers for our Wet Sound speakers right there. We've pulled those covers off for our video. And then, so we've got this integrated tower right here. We've actually got essentially a forward canvas Bimini and a rear canvas Bimini. Both of those are going to kind of zip on. It's actually these storage boots also zip on, which is a really nice feature. That's going to make towing this down the highway much easier whenever you've got all that's going to kind of all zip up and stow away. So yeah, so again, we've got essentially a little bit of a forward and rear Bimini. Now you can use any combination of those. You can have no Bimini at all. You can just have your rear. You can just have your forward. You can have both deployed. It really just depends on preference of the captain and your crew. So here at our driver's seat here, we do have the fold up bolster driver's seat right there. Go right up like that. That's gonna give you a little bit better view, looking straight up over your windshield and your bow, especially whenever you've got a fully loaded boat. That's helpful. This one is rated for 12. We've got a nice wood grain tilt steering wheel here at your driver's helm, stainless cup holder just below your throttle down there. You've got a 12-volt power outlet here for your devices just to the right of that key. And also got a Fireboy fire suppression indicator light. Essentially that's going to be like a check engine light right there. And then our gauges here at our helm is going to be a drive trim gauge. We've got a tachometer with the integrated depth finder. Integrated digital hour meter. There's your speedometer, and then we've got a cluster gauge that's going to show you your fuel, battery volts, engine temp, and engine oil pressure. And then here's our depth finder over here, just to the left of that. Additionally, we've got a Garmin. I believe that's a Chirp GT20 unit. That's going to be a GPS Chartplotter and Sonar depth and fish finder. So we've got the split screen showing you right there now. It's going to have GPS speed capability readout as well as your depth finder. It's trying to read the water temperature, but we're up out of the water today. So that's what that 78.3 degrees is right there. It's also going to have your battery volts, time of day on there as well. So that, yeah, that's the lower part, that's your sonar reading right there. And the upper part's kind of that GPS chart plotter. All right, pulling back here, we have function tested everything on this one. Everything worked wonderfully. Functional horn, we've got a functional blower. All of our navigation lights all functioning. You can see the lights popping up on your gauges there. We've got a functional bilge pump. Our docking lights passed function testing, as well as our cockpit lights. This one is not equipped with the windshield wipers. That's basically just a blank switch right there. And this is going to be the switch to control the folding of that tower. Your stereo, we've got an AM, FM, Bluetooth, USB, auxiliary input, Pandora, Sirius XM satellite ready stereo with, let's see here, this is actually going to fold down. We've got a small little tray that's going to pop out right here where you can actually have your device actually stowed away and then plugged into a USB input right there. So that's just a USB right there. This one's, they've got a light-in adapter on that right now. And we have, let's see, we've got 6 cockpit speakers, 2 swim deck speakers, and 2 tower speakers. So that's going to give you, and a subwoofer, along with some JL audio amplifiers. So, and they are throughout. So the cockpit's going to be this section of the boat right here, where our seats are. All right, so we've essentially got, let me see here, 10 speakers plus a subwoofer throughout the boat. So there's that subwoofer right there, right down there below your driver's feet. Okay, we're gonna have JL audio speaker here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4. We've got 2 more up in our bow. That's 5 and 6. And then right back here where we started on that sun deck, it can be 7, 8. And then our tower speakers, again, these are those wet sound tower speakers that make 9 and 10. So 10 total speakers plus JL audio subwoofer. You can see I've just hit that light switch for those, for our cockpit lights. And that's integrated in with your tower speakers as well. We've got some lights here. You can see that one up there in the bow area there. And then we've also got some up here on the tower pointing down in that cockpit. So whenever you are out in the evening hours, you're going to be able to have those cockpit lights. Additionally, I can save this for later, but before I forget, we've also got some underwater lights. So here's the look of that dual prop Outdrive. There's underwater lights over here. Bear with me here. And here's ones over here on our starboard side. Cup holders, we got 12 cup holders throughout. Those are all going to be the stainless steel cup holders. We've got that pair back here on the swim deck. 3 over here on this side, 3 more on this side. That makes 8. There's cup holder 9, 10, and then 11 and 12 up there in the bow. So now back up here to where back to our driver's helm right here. This is a removable snap-in flooring. This is essentially like a vinyl matte flooring with a little bit of a rubber backing to it. It's a really nice flooring right here. And while we're here, I'll go ahead and raise. We've got a nice large in-floor ski storage locker. A lot of nice storage on this one. Most everything is on a hinge. Your passenger seat back's gonna fold right up right there. Got a pair of life jackets in there. Of course, we've got a small little dry box right here. Little grab rail right there at your passenger seat. This large seat right here is also on a hinge. That's gonna fold up. We've got a little gas shock right there. It's gonna help hold that in place. Here are those filler cushions back here for our swim deck. Now these also all have snaps to keep these in place, keep them from blowing out when you're traveling down the lake. There's another little storage hatch there. More on that later, but these are gonna just snap in right there so they don't go anywhere. And then that's gonna lay down. Same filler cushion's gonna be right here. Again, you've got some snaps that's gonna secure all that. And that just lays in right there. So now everything's filled in there. Got a removable cockpit table, and it's going to be the mount for it. That can mount in 2 locations. This is going to be a mount right here. We'll have some photos of that removable lounge table in place. So you're going to be able to have that here in the back cockpit. And there's also a mount up there in the bow. Underneath this seat, we've got an integrated waist bin. This is a Igloo 25-quart stowable cooler. As in we've basically got a little mount right there, so that's going to keep that in place so it's not sliding around. And then we've also got an integrated air pump or compressor for all your inflatables. That's 12-volt powered. You can see it's kind of got its own little integrated holder right there, so everything has a place. All right, we pointed out those cup holders there earlier as well. So now let's head on toward the bow of the boat. We do have a walk-through windshield right here. You notice we've got a little magnetic catch for that as that opens up right there. That's going to kind of hold that in place. Generally speaking, you don't want to be running down the lake with that windshield open. But that is designed to kind of keep it stowed away. Just a little magnetic catch for it right there. We've also got magnetic catches on our walk-through wind block right here. So that just goes like that, and then that's going to make it very convenient for you to kind of close off that walk-through there on those chillier mornings, evenings, or even just early and late season. You're going to be able to do that fairly easily. All right, nice large open bow area. Again, we've got the ability to have that removable lounge table up here. We've got some nice integrated storage up here in our bow seats. This is all on a hinge right here. We thought there was one strap. Pull that entire seat up. We've got that gas shock support to hold it up in place. And then here's, let's see, here might be a little dim in here. Let's see if I can brighten that. So that's the back of our subwoofer right there. And then that's that pair of JO audio amplifiers right there. And we're going to go ahead and lower this seat back into place, back where it was. And we've got the same thing over here across the aisle there for your other passenger seat. That's going to be our bow cover right down in there, and then those life jackets we caught a glimpse of a little bit earlier. Go ahead and close this seat. Got some pull-up armrest up here in our bow seating as well. You're going to have that on both sides. You just give this little pull, they'll kind of lock into place. And another little storage compartment right here. This one is not on a hinge. That one's a little bit of a smaller compartment. And then we do have anchor storage locker up here in the bow. There's no anchor in this one, but that is your dedicated storage compartment for it. Again, we've got another pair of pull-up cleats up here in the bow as well. This is a very clean 3-owner boat. We've got 532 engine hours on a 5.7 liter, 300 horsepower Volvo fuel injected V8 inboard outboard, again with that dual prop Outdrive. Before I leave the interior here, I do want to point out a few little wear items. We've just got some stains on this bow seating up here in a few spots. Condition-wise, everything looks good up here, but we do have a few of those little stains right there. That looks like a rip or tear or something. It's not. It's just got a stain going across it right there. Sometimes with the appropriate cleaner, you can remove those. Now back here in our rear bench seating area, this is where we have some stretch seams, and we do have a little bit of vinyl wear. Go ahead and pull this filler cushion out for right now. I'm going to set it aside. So if I raise up this hatch right here where our removable lounge table was stowed, do have a little bit of stretch seams in that area. Another one on this corner piece right here, and then kind of the same back here in this corner and on this rear bench seat section as well. And that trend's going to continue across on the other side of the boat, kind of all the same areas and those same cushions. I'm going to raise this one up, the one area where we had that cooler and waste bin stowed away. A little bit of wear on this seam, not as bad as this one over here, so that corner piece. Those corner pieces do come out fairly easily, and of course there are a lot of marine upholstery shops where you can have all those recovered and have them looking new again. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out our other filler cushion back there on that rear, just so that I can easily walk back over here. And then, of course, speaking of those worn seats, now this is another kind of a stretch seam back here on this rear sun deck. We move around here, got a little bit of staining back here on this back edge, and then basically just kind of a stretch seam going all along right there. Of course, you saw me raise that earlier. We've got a nice little integrated storage compartment right there. A little bit more wear on this corner of that seat right there as that lifts up. And then similar trend over here on this side. Of course, there's that another storage compartment. More on that here in a moment. And then this seam also is just a little stretched right in that area of that seam. A little bit of staining on this edge, and a little bit of light staining right there on that section as well. Now, I've got this hatch unlocked. This is our engine hatch. That's on some gas shocks, a little bit of tug, and then that's going to raise the rest of the weight on its own. And then here's that Volvo Penta. Again, this is a 5.7 gas, fuel injected, V8, 300 horsepower, getting about 532 engine hours. There's that Fireboy fire suppression extinguisher, automatic fire suppression extinguisher that we mentioned earlier when we were up there at the Helm. That's going to be your fuel tank down there on the floor there. That's going to be a 54-gallon fuel tank. And try to get you a decent view of our Volvo Penta for outboard. Of course, most of what you're seeing is that cowling right there. And we do have a battery switch right here. It's going to be an on-off battery switch right there. It's simply going from, that's going to be the off, and that's going to be the on position right there. So good size storage compartment on either side of our Volvo engine. And there's going to be your battery right there as well. That looks like about a Group 27 marine battery. And we can go ahead and push this back down into place. All right, try to get you a good look at that tower from in the cockpit. Also should point out we do have a remote access for your stereo unit right here for that Fusion stereo. There's going to be a second set of controls for that. So whenever you are back here in the water, you're anchored somewhere, you'll be able to control that stereo without having to go all the way back up there to the helm. All right, let me hop off the side here. And of course, here's our fold down swim ladder. It's a 4-step swim boarding ladder. Is missing a little rubber step on that. Let's see, second from the bottom step there. A little bit of wear around our hatch here. And was it? Yeah, just a little bit right there inside that compartment, and then I think right below that, yeah, we got a little bit of mark in that gel coat right here on this extended swim platform. We got a small little stress crack over here by your drive control right here. This is basically just a second drive trim control. This is primarily to use for servicing, or if a boat's on a trailer, you need to lower or raise or lower that drive without having to climb in all the way up there to that helm station. And I think, as I pointed out earlier, I've left those underwater lights on so we could see those when we got back out here. And there's that dual prop Volvo Penta Outdrive. A little bit of oxidation on our black tower right here. But again, this one's in really good condition. And of course, we're always going to try to show you any and all wear and tear that we notice on any of our listings. But this one, you know, we've got just some minor marks in the seats and a few little minor marks in the boat's exterior. We're going to try to point those out to you as we kind of walk around the exterior, getting a little bit more up close. Let's see, we had a set of stainless pull-up cleats. That's going to be 6 cleats in total, basically one at the bow, stern, and then the middle of the boat. Small little mark right there. Fingernail is not catching that edge. That might be something that'll go away with a real good professional detailing of this one. Similar mark right here, although this one, my fingernail is catching that one right there. So that one's probably not going anywhere. And another small one of those, just barely catching that edge right there with my fingernail on that one. Sometimes this black things will look worse than it is. We get a few little water spots on there. And of course, a lot of times when you're looking at these, the light's reflecting too. So that area right there looks like that could be a scratch or something like that. That's actually a reflection of the hose right across the slip there. So you do got to be careful on this black. We got a few little very minor marks right here. Fingernail's not catching edge. That's going to disappear with a good detail. Here's another one right here. Well, that one just rubbed right away. Little bit of a very, I think we tried to photograph this area earlier and really couldn't get this to show in photos. So we've got just some very light scratches that are just barely in this gel coat right here. And doesn't even really look like they're kind of showing up in the camera here. I'll move our angle around a little bit to see if any of that catches. This is all probably something that's going to disappear with a good professional detailing. Kind of seeing just a little bit. Just some very small marks in there. And this is kind of another one right here. Fingernail just barely catches that edge right there. So there's that one right there. There's a little bit more of a minor mark right there below it, and that one's not catching any edge right there. So that one's probably going to disappear rather easily. So let me change our camera angles just slightly. See if different lighting changes viewability of some of these minor marks. Well, like I said, none of those are very deep anyway, so it's really not too much to get worried about, but we always do like to represent these exactly as possible. So definitely showed you those two here just a moment ago. We've got another one, just slight one right in here, just barely catching an edge right there with the fingernail, just barely catching an edge right in there. I would not be surprised if that disappeared with some good detailing right there. And then again, just a few more, just very minor, almost just even just surface scratches right there. I think most of that's going to disappear. Now this one right here, this was another one we kind of tried to photograph and really couldn't get to show up. But again, we've got some very minor scratches in that gel coat right here. Just barely catching an edge on the fingernail test with these. But again, I think with a good quality detail, there's a good chance those are going to disappear as well. So, but again, we do try to point these out to you. Sometimes the hull color makes some of those more difficult to see, and sometimes it highlights them. So sometimes a boat looks bad, but it's actually not that bad at all when you actually come see it in person. This is a little nick in the gel coat right there. That one, a detail is not going to do anything for. Get the camera to focus on you there. Just doesn't want to catch it there. There we go. That's a little bit better look. All right. Moving on, I think that's about it for this side. We got maybe another mark up here near the bow. Just right there, just very light surface scratches in that gel coat. Do have that little stainless steel scuff plate right there at your bow hookup, and then it's just out of my reach right there. There are kind of a few marks right there on that center line, and I can't quite tell if those are into the gel coat or not. I do have a little kill guard on here that's going right down that center line right there. See if I can brighten that up a little bit for you. And then coming on around the corner here, small little surface scratch right there. Fingernail is catching an edge right there, so that one is probably going to hang around. Very minor scratch just on the surface right there. This one, that one is going to hang around. That one is going to catch an edge right there with the fingernail right there. That one's just barely down in that gel coat surface. And got a little bit of a stress crack on this corner of the tower. It's right in there. And then I think we had a few marks down. Oh, where was it here? Look, one right there in the corner of the platform. Okay, there's another look down this underside of the boat. Okay, and then we got a few little minor marks right in here. That one's probably going to go away. That's just some dirt right there. This is a little minor scratch right there. That one might hang around. And then I think we had one mark down here. Another little, very minor one right there. And then we do have some, a little bit of a chip in our gel coat. Bear with me here, let me get you a better view. Okay, we do have a little bit of a chip in our gel coat right here. Okay, and that's actually showing some fiberglass right there a little bit. This is left in the water. That does need to be dealt with. There appears to be one more right at the edge of that bunk. If we get in there a little bit closer. Yeah, right in there, right at the edge of that fast track hole there. This stuff here's just some dirt. That's going to wipe away, but right there, about the center of your frame. right in there. That's another little mark in that gel coat right there. We're trying to show you. Similar to this one right here. That one does need to be dealt with if this boat's left in the water. And I think there may even be one more of those. Yeah, one more of those right there. Again, that's kind of right on the edge of that step in the hull. This one there, that one does not look quite. Well, actually, it's very similar to these two because that's fairly smooth. It's just that gel coat's kind of been nicked right in those areas. Maybe another one right there, very slight. And then again, kind of right where that bunk is sitting on that other one. So, all right, let me climb back out of here. And of course, that step in the hull, that's part of Regal's signature fast track hull. That really helps with the ride of this boat. Gives it a really nice smooth ride. Got what appears to be kind of like a little minor mark right there. We did try to kind of rub on that earlier. It's not really a. Oh, bear with me here. So you can almost kind of see that kind of rubs right off when you rub on there. So I think most of that's going to go away. That's just like probably something's transferred over from a bunk or something like that. Almost even feels like some adhesive or something that was on there. So, all right. I think we pretty much got it. I believe we showed you that one here a few moments ago. That one is kind of into that gel coat a little bit. And then what looks like something over here, that's actually a little bug, and that's a bug. Maybe a small minor one right in there as well. But again, this one really is in great condition. Very clean boat. It's been well kept, been stored under cover. Just a slight little bit of oxidation back here on that tower, and a little bit of wear in some of those upholstery sections. That could very easily be dealt with. So again, visit that website for all the details on this one, current asking price, as well as all of our contact information. If you're watching this on a device where you're not able to view that video description and get that link, our website is simply yournewboat.com. You can type that into any web browser on your mobile or on a computer, with or without the www. But it is www.yournewboat.com. When you do make it there, look for that Find Your New Boat button in the top left-hand corner. And when you click that, it's going to load all of our inventory and order a price. And so all you got to do is scroll down until you get to the 2011 Regal 2300 Bowrider for sale. Again, we're here on the beautiful freshwaters in Norris Lake, Tennessee. The slip is not transferable, but we do have options to help you get this to wherever the new home's going to be, or we can help get you a new trailer for it as well. So again, you can reach out to us by phone, by text, or email. All that contact information you're going to find right there when you do make it over to the website. We do like to remind you, if you send us an email, if it's been one business day, you have not gotten an email reply back, please check your spam folder. We're generally very quick about getting replies back out, and almost always you're going to respond within the same business day. If you leave us or if you call us on the phone, you get our voicemail. You do want to return a phone call, please take the time, leave us a message. Keep in mind, we're very frequent in areas without cell phone reception. So if you do not leave us a message, we will not know that you called. If you do one better, if you let us know which listing you're looking at, what questions you have. That way, as soon as we either finish with the customer or return to cell service area, we can return that phone call and have all those answers for you. So again, this is the 2011 Regal 2300 Bowrider for sale. Again, here on the beautiful freshwaters of Norris Lake, Tennessee. It's got that 5.7 liter Volvo Penta inboard outboard with the dual prop Outdrive, 300 horsepower, about 530 hours on this one. We do have a cockpit cover and a bow cover, as well as those essentially kind of a double Bimini top up there on that tower, that support tower. Again, it's been a freshwater boat, and it's had about 3 owners on it. So that's going to do it for this one. Again, feel free to reach out to us with any questions through our website. Set up a time to come view this one in person. submit an offer or anything like that, you can do so through the website, youranewboat.com. I thank you again for joining us. Those two things popping up over top of your screen here as we wrap up. One's going to be a shortcut to our current listings playlist. If you don't want to leave YouTube, trying to figure out what else we have that's available, you can find all that at our current listings playlist. And then the other icon popping up on your screen is going to be a shortcut to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, it's a great way to be notified anytime a new listing comes available in our area. And I thank you again for joining us.